All right. Okay. So, who can tell me what we talked about last time? Started with an N. I mean an I. Started with an I. An inference, right. Okay, so who can tell me what an inference is? An educated guess, right. What do we use to make an inference?
The brain.
We use our brain. We use our background knowledge. Can someone tell me what background knowledge is? What do y'all think background knowledge is? Let's see if somebody else can answer. What do you think, Finley? To make an inference, you use background knowledge to make an inference. And background knowledge is going to be what we already know, okay? So that's going to be what we've already learned through our teachers or just through life experiences, okay? That's going to be our background knowledge. For example, tell me something. Let's see. What do you already know? What do you know about the rainforest?
It has lots of rain and it has wildlife.
Right, and you know that because of your background information. You've learned that somewhere, right?
Everything about it.
Right. Okay, so the next thing, so we need our background information, which is, what is it?
Inference.
It's to help make an inference, but our background information is what we already know. Okay. And our second thing that we're going to need to make an inference is our clues, our evidence, our text evidence. Do y'all know what text evidence is? Can you, Kaylin, let's hear from Kaylin. Kaylin, why don't you tell me something?
Text evidence, like, we've learned this in class.
It's like, okay, what do you?
Okay. Text evidence is when you look in the book that you're reading and find evidence to match the question, and then when you look for text evidence, that's what your answer is going to be to your question.
Right. Okay. So text evidence is our clues that they're context clues that we find in the book when we're reading. Okay. So with our background knowledge and then the clues that we find in the book, that's going to help us make an inference. Okay. And what you also need to do is you need to visualize. Now, can anybody tell me what that means? What about you, Emmanuel?
We do this all the time on the car.
What does visualizing mean? Okay, hold on just a second. We'll come back. Visualizing means to make a mental image, okay? So if you're being read to or if you're reading by yourself, you want to,
the picture looks like.
right, you want to visualize what you're reading, okay? So if you were reading, the sun was shining really bright outside and the wind was barely blowing. It was so dry. What would you think? What would you be visualizing? Tell me, close your eyes. Close your eyes, okay? I want y'all to close your eyes. Imagine you're outside on your front porch, and it's a sunny day. Are y'all imagining this? Y'all with me? Now you're imagining. What do you see? Think to yourself for just a second. What do you see? Okay. Now open your eyes. What did you see?
I was on my front porch, and it was sunny, and I was sitting on the porch while it was sunny.
Did you see anything else?
I saw wind blowing.
Wind blowing, okay. So that's an inference, okay? All right. So let's get started. So an inference is when authors of books don't tell everything about characters and events, and readers have to use story clues. Now, we just talked about those clues, right? And background knowledge, that's what we already know, to make an inference, okay? And so if you already know something, you can use that, and then you use what the text says. And then, therefore, I can infer using those two things, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to do an inference investigation. And y'all are going to be investigators. Y'all think y'all can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of these clues that are set up over here. You see the investigation scene over here? What we're going to do is I want y'all to get your graphic organizers out, okay? Your top secret graphic organizers out. Okay, everybody got it? Everybody get their pencils. Now, before we head over there, the reason that we're looking at these clues is because we're going to find out who Steve Irwin is. And don't tell me who he is if you already know, okay? I want you to think about what you already know about Steve Irwin. If you know anything about Steve Irwin, I want you to be thinking about what you already know. That way we can use our background knowledge, right? Okay? And then I want you to come over here, and I want you to look at these clues. And I only want you to write 1 or 2 words about the clues that you see, because we can't spend too much time. We're only going to be over there for a few minutes. So take in as many clues as you can and write down just a couple of words about each clue, okay? So let's go over there and let's see what we got. And let's not touch anything. Bring your graphic organizers. Yeah, bring your pencils. We're going to be writing those 2 words, okay? Okay. Here, you can use that to set your thing up, okay? Use this to set this on. Here, just put it on this, okay, Bentley? Okay, and now remember, we only have a few minutes to look at all the clues because we still have a lot to do, okay? So I just want you to write a couple of words. What do we see here?
Alligator.
Okay, just write what you say. Just write. It doesn't have to be spelled right, and then just write, like I said, 1 or 2 words in each one of your squares, okay? What is this?
An alligator head. A
Right.
crocodile.
It's a crocodile head, okay? What about this?
A turtle shell.
Okay, y'all writing? I want y'all to write 1 word in each square. There's plenty of clues to write. And these clues are going to help you determine who Steve Irwin is and what he is famous for. Steve Irwin was famous for something, and I want y'all to see if y'all can figure it out.
Everywhere.
Just write 1 word in every square. You can write 2. It's okay. You can write 2 if you have. But from now on, we'll just write the rest, okay? Do you know what this is?
A stingray.
A stingray, okay? We're just gonna do this for a few more minutes. What is this?
Skins from a snake.
Like a snake skin.
You bought that good.
I brought it. I didn't buy it.
Where did you
All right, y'all. How many boxes do y'all have left?
No. My house. My mom has a turtle shell, but hers is a little bit bigger.
Is it? Okay, so you already have yours ready? Okay. Well, just keep looking while everybody else is finishing up so that you can take in as much as you can. We've got Australia. We've got some snakes. What is this?
A
koala. What do y'all think this is?
His suit.
What is this?
A hunter suit.
A hunter suit. Do y'all know what this symbol means?
Yes. Yes.
If you think you know what it means, you can write it down, okay?
Wait.
All right. Everybody should be almost finishing up. Okay. I'm going to count to 10, and then we're going to go back down here, okay? So if you need to finish anything up or if you need to look at the clues any longer, I'm going to count to 10. Maybe at the end, okay? 1. All right. Okay, everybody, let's go back. Let's go back slightly and sit on this.
Can I push something
At our top. Yes. Yeah, let's bring it close right here. Okay. everybody has their clues written down, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to turn. I want you to turn this around right here, okay? And I want you to write, what do you think Steve Irwin was famous for, based off all the clues that you saw? Just write it, and then we're going to share it, okay? And it's okay. This is just an educated guess based off the clues and any background knowledge that we may have, okay? So it's okay if it's not right. We're going to learn. Just one little quick sentence, okay? Yeah, when you finish, turn it over like Bentley. Okay. Are you almost done, Kaylin?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right. So, Emmanuel, or Bentley, we'll go with Bentley first. Bentley, what do you think that Steve Irwin is famous for?
Investigator.
You think he's an investigator? Okay, that's a good guess. What do you think?
He might have been famous for like rescuing animals.
Rescuing animals. And why would you think that, Kaylin?
Because he had alligators.
Alligators.
Koalas.
Right, there's animals. There's a lot of animals over there. So you made an inference, right? Using the clues that were on the table, right? What about you? What are you thinking?
He might do.
He might do what? Hunting. He could be a hunter. He might save the animals. He might hunt the animals. But you're just using the clues given to you, right?
Was he Australian?
He possibly could be. Do you think he was Australian?
Yeah, because it's the state. I mean, the country.
Right, and that's an inference, okay? What about you?
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that he's an investigator in Australia, and he could hunt. He hunts wildlife in Australia.
Okay, so we got two that thinks he hunts wildlife. We got two that thinks he's an investigator, and we got one that thinks that he is rescuing animals. Okay, so let's find out who Steve Irwin is, okay? Those were some great guesses. And y'all used your clues, and y'all used your background knowledge. Who knew? Who has ever heard of Steve Irwin?
Man, he's on TV. That's who I thought it was.
Yeah, me. Right, okay. So let's see. Let's see who Steve Irwin is.
That's who I thought it was. Why does he wear boxers?
Those are shorts. Okay.
Sure.
All right, so let's see. What do you think this means?
He owns a building.
He owns
rescues animals.
the Australia Zoo.
That's what I
right?
thought it was.
Okay, so this is who Steve Irwin is. This is his daughter. Okay, she also works with wildlife, but she was on Dancing with the Stars. Have you ever heard of that show?
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Okay, and then listen. Here he is right here with a koala. That was
Can
one of
I
our
read
clues,
this
right? Hold on just a second, okay? Now, this is the koala, right? He says, I have no fear of losing my life. If I have to save a koala or a crocodile or a kangaroo or a snake, mate, I will save it. Steve Irwin. Okay, so now let's talk about, before we start reading, let's talk about the vocabulary terms here. What do y'all think a predator is?
The animal that naturally preys on.
Right, okay. So an animal, a predator is like a shark or a crocodile or a snake, okay?
The predator is the thing that eats the other one.
Right, eats the prey, okay? So I'm just going to read over these briefly because we have to hurry and move on, okay? A reptile is going to be a vertebrate animal that includes snakes, lizards, crocodiles, turtles, tortoises, and they typically have dry, scaled skin.
And lay soft shells if on land.
Thank you. Okay, and slang. Do y'all know what slang is?
A type of language that
Let's see, but without reading the definition, do you know what slang? Hold on, without reading the definition, can you tell me what slang is?
Like slang?
It's just using an informal language. It's like, right. It's like saying, hey, instead of hello. You know, it's an informal language, okay? So we're going to be talking about, in this book, there's going to be some slang. And the slang that's used is crikey. Have you ever heard the phrase crikey?
He says something.
Here it is right here. Crikey, she's a beauty. It says beauty, but he'll say beauty a lot too. So crikey, she's a beauty.
So to say a short name
And
for
mate, what do y'all think? That's another word.
They use that in their language of
Right.
Australia.
As friend. It means friend, right? And then oi. Oi. That's like a cheer. When they cheer, they're like oi instead of go, go, go. They're like oi, oi, oi. Okay? All right. So now that we know a little bit more about Steve Irwin, let's get started. And I'm going to, we'll find that out, okay? Let's get going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you. And when I read to you, I want y'all to visualize. Now, when y'all are visualizing, I want y'all to try to infer, okay? You are, but you're just going to sketch, okay, quickly. And what I want you to do is I want y'all to make inferences when you visualize. And you remember, inferences is using the clues that you hear me read in the text, okay? The clues that you hear me read in the text. And it's your background knowledge, so it's all the knowledge that I just told you. That's now background knowledge. That's knowledge that you have heard and you've learned, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to read to you, and I want y'all to visualize exactly what I'm reading. And I just want you to draw a quick sketch, okay? Doesn't have to be really perfect. Just a quick sketch. It can be skin people. It can be skin animals, okay? Y'all ready? All right. Now listen closely, okay? There was so much to discover in this exciting new world. Trees filled with laughing kookaburras and other birds, streams alive with fish and snakes. By the end of 1970, the reptile park was up and running. Lynn and Bob placed ads in the local papers. Reporters wrote newspaper articles. People came to the park and told their friends about it. Tourists visit. More enclosures were built. The zoo was growing. At last, the Irwins were making money doing what they loved. Okay? I'm going to read it one more time while y'all finish visualizing, okay? Out exploring. There was so much to discover in this exciting new world. Trees filled with laughing kookaburras and other birds. Streams alive with fish and snakes. By the end of 1970, the reptile park was up and running. Lynn and Bob placed ads in the local paper. Reporters wrote newspaper articles. People came to the park and told their friends about it. Tourists arrived. At last, the Irwins were making money doing what they loved. Okay. All right. If you haven't finished drawing, just tell me what were you going to draw if you haven't finished drawing? What were you going to draw?
Okay. Here's the line with the fish. There's the fish bubble. And I did not get a chance to draw the birds in my tree.
Okay. So,
But mine doesn't look anything like that. I'm not an artist at all.
what did you draw, Kayla? No, it looks great.
I draw a tree in the water with a snake in it, and I drew the place they worked at, and I drew a report.
Right. And what did you draw, Manuel?
I drew the reptile park sign.
The reptile park sign.
And I drew Steve with the magnifying glass and snakes.
Okay, so where did you get the reptile park sign from? You just
I think
you just inferred? Or did you infer that there were signs because of the place ads in the newspapers?
Yeah.
You inferred the signs? Okay, and what about you, Bentley?
I did a tree
With the birds? So what did y'all visualize the zoo? Right, so
but I didn't get to draw the
y'all,
zoo.
it's okay. Did y'all visualize just what I read, or did y'all think when you heard zoo, did y'all think all the other things that you see at a zoo?
I drew it.
Because that would be inferring. When you hear that, when you read that the boy was at the zoo, you're going to visualize everything you've ever seen at a zoo,
There's
right?
my bird in my tree.
Right? Okay. So now let's move on.
Aren't those people made of bobbleheads?
What I want y'all to that's just it's made to look like a bobblehead. But what I want y'all to do is everybody pull out your pieces of paper. This paper right here. It's in your top secret folder. Here, I'm gonna get these out. You don't have to erase it. I got it. Thank you. Everybody get their reading materials out. Thank you.
Is it this one?
Oh, right here. It's the staple piece of paper. It should be in order. Here you go. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to quietly read to yourselves. I'm going to come around. I'm going to ask y'all to read out loud to me. Now, while you're reading, guys, I want you to think. I want y'all to think about inferring, okay? To infer, remember, we use the knowledge we already know. We've learned about Steve Irwin. We've looked at all these clues. These all have to do with Steve Irwin. We've learned about Steve Irwin when we talked about him right here. We learned about our vocabulary words, right? So let's read more about him and think about what we already know and see what else we learned. And let's use context clues in the text, okay? All right, everybody start reading. Okay. Read to me.
He has answering Steve's question. Name him to scare away predators. He said, geckos shed their tails so they won't get caught. Crocodiles make tears to clean their eyes. They don't really cry. When
Okay, stop right there for just a second. Did you see any of our vocabulary words? What about, let's see. What about gecko? Let's see what we got. A lizard, right. And what about a predator? We talked about a predator. What's a predator?
A predator is a wild animal that tries to eat others.
Right, okay. So you keep reading and you keep inferring, okay? You're doing great. You see any vocabulary words? Y'all can underline them. And here's some cheat sheets for y'all if you wanted some help with the vocabulary, okay? Okay, Manuel. Can you read to me?
Why don't you capture crocodiles to move them to a safe place places where people don't kill or kill them? Why do people kill them? Because they are hurt. Why they are hurt? Because they don't understand it.
Okay, so stop right there. What do you think we're talking about? This conversation between Steve and Ron.
We're talking about
Capturing the crocodiles and saying that people kill them. And why do people kill them? Right, because they're afraid. And what is that? That is a context clue. That tells you that they're afraid. So you can kind of visualize their fear, right? Would you want to be in the water with a crocodile?
No.
Would you be scared?
No, not really.
Bet you wouldn't want to be in there, right? So you can kind of visualize why somebody would be scared of a crocodile, right? Keep reading, okay? Okay, Caleb, can you read to me for a second?
These audience who first in Australia, then all over the world he took along as he did for the water. He noticed everything everywhere. Little Snake was gorgeous. Every crocodile was a little beauty. People started looking at wildlife differently. They were curious. Now they weren't as afraid anymore.
Okay, let's stop right there. Why do you think they weren't afraid anymore after they saw the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin on TV?
Because he was showing them how to like not to be afraid of them. He showed them like how to pick them up and stuff.
Right, and he showed that they don't always bite and they're not always dangerous. That if you just let them be in their environment and you don't disturb them, right? And you have to be a professional to handle those kind of venomous snakes, right? Keep reading for me, okay? Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Okay, well I need you to read to me. So let's start. Let's look at you to read from the right. Let's read this part.
Steve never lost that excitement. He felt when he was a child crying, he would look to him. When he stopped another gorgeous creature, he also forgot what Bob had told himself to make. He would add things that their mate means friend.
Mate makes friend, right? And did we talk about this word right here, crikey?
It means anything.
Crikey, it just means like, oh my goodness, yeah, right. Crikey, she's gorgeous. It's kind of just like an exclamation, like using an exclamation mark. You know, yeah, exactly. And why do you think that? Why do you think that he would say, "Careful, mate, danger, danger, danger"?
Because if nobody knows how to like handle a snake when it like goes crazy and stuff.
Right, and even the people that do know how to handle a snake, they would probably need to be really careful when they're handling a venomous snake, a poisonous snake, right?
Because poisonous snakes.
Right, and they're unpredictable.
Yeah, they're unpredictable.
Okay, all right. So let's put these
I
up.
underlined the appearance. I mean, vocabulary.
Oh, did you? Good for you, girl. Do what? Yep, just put everything back in your folders, and I'm gonna bring these next time that we come.
I thought you said you were gonna have us.
I got you. I got y'all a treat. I didn't get you candy. I got you a treat.
Oh,
It's a sticker, but it's not a star this time. Okay, so let's see. Let's go with our last thing, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to pull out this piece of paper, this last piece of paper. Everybody have one? Okay. Y'all ready?
no. Can I read it?
Everybody read it to themselves, and I want you to guess. I want y'all to do number one, okay? I just want y'all to do number one. And this is, I just want to see if y'all are going to be able to infer it for me, okay? So just do number one and then check the answer that you think is correct, okay?
He was looking at things.
It's okay. Just okay, everybody got their answers? Okay. So I'm going to read it to you. I begin the day with my small tools to clean my patient's teeth. I placed the paper bib on her and shined a light down so I could see. I found one cavity. After all the teeth were cleaned, I gave her a toothbrush. Is she a cashier, clown, teacher, or dentist?
Dentist.
And why do we think that?
Because he was cleaning the teeth and she found cavity.
So you used your background knowledge because most of you have probably heard of a dentist or been to a dentist, right? Right. And so you know that a dentist has to do with the teeth, right? So y'all used all of those clues, those context clues in your background knowledge to do that, and y'all all just inferred. Did everybody choose dentist?
Yes.
That makes me know that y'all know how to infer, okay? All right, so everybody put all your papers back up in your folders for me. And while y'all are doing that, I'm going to tell you just a tiny bit more about Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin was the crocodile hunter, and he was famous, okay? He was on TV. He owned the Australian Zoo, and He was one of my favorite people to watch on
Yeah.
TV. He was so cool. He always picked up the most dangerous snakes, and he would jump into the water and jump on top of an alligator
I've watched
and wrestle it, and then get it all taped up and to move to relocate to a safe location. Not many people would do that, right? Not many people would
No.
get in the water with an alligator.
I've watched so much.
And he did pass away in 2006. Do y'all know how he passed away?
Getting bit by something?
He was in the water and a stingray barb. You know how stingrays
Yeah.
have barbs on their
Yeah.
tails, and it's very uncommon. They usually don't hurt you, but it stabbed. The barb went through his heart, and it did kill him. So he's not alive anymore. But he did make a lot of changes, and he brought a lot of he got a lot of people involved in the environment and in wildlife and in conservation. He was huge in conservation.
I
Okay?
saw something like that, and they can go in your.
I'll let y'all touch it, and I'm gonna walk y'all to class.
Yeah. Snake.
Y'all can feel that. Okay? I'm gonna grab all the stickers, and then I'm gonna walk y'all to the class. Okay?
Did you say it was a PP?
Yeah. But don't just put them in your desk and take them home with you. Okay?
What?
The pencils. Yeah, you can have them, but we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings in class. Okay?
Yeah. They can go in your feet too. They shoot out little things. Can I feel it? That's why I'm scared to go in the ocean.
All right, y'all ready?
I saw my feet on the.
You're scared of the ocean? I'm scared to go too deep.
I saw my feet on the.
Y'all did so good today, and I'm so proud of you.
I saw my feet on the sand. Whoa. What do you want?